The next thing you've got to consider when you're designing a human controlled interface is actually, where is the PC going to be used? Because that's going to have an impact on its suitability. So let me give you some examples. Imagine you're in a shopping mall or a museum and you can get information about what's on at the moment. Do you really want to have a keyboard plugged into a computer at these places, at these public places? No, you're designing an interface which would be actually touch screen. It's quick to use, it's easy to use, it's nice and interactive, all of those aspects. So you'll design an interface which can enable people to touch it. Whereas in a school or in a hospital, you'll probably be more used to, especially a hospital, using a keyboard over a touchscreen because it's more accurate. Imagine you're having to type in some really, really sensitive commands to a operating theatre where you're using a robot arm to do the operation. Do you really want to be doing it on a touchscreen where you might touch the wrong area or it might be a little bit inaccurate, or using a keyboard? So you've got to think about where it's going to be used. The second thing is, another factor you've got to take into account is something like sound. Are you really wanting to include sound responses like videos talking to you or audio in a computer which is going to be used in a busy area? So this is a shopping mall where you have thousands of people walking by. You're not going to include sound in this computer. What is the point? You won't be able to hear anything. So you'll design a program, software, which doesn't use sound, but other means to communicate. So going back to the point again, you've got to take into consideration where it's going to be used, the software. That is so important. And also, how is it going to be used? So if you're taking a tour of Barcelona Stadium, so let's show you the Nou Camp. The inside of this stadium where you can actually do tours. I've been on one before, it was pretty cool. And you're walking around, that's not me. You can actually have headphones plugged into the little computer they give you and it'll talk. That's suitable because the headphones will block off all the other noise. But if there weren't any headphones and they gave you a computer which was just speaking through the speakers, you won't be able to hear anything, or you'll hear other people's tours. So it's so important you design for how it's going to be used, the suitability.